So just a couple of notes on air quality testing, right? What happens sometimes is, my whole philosophy, you've heard it, if we find a lot of visible mold, often we're not going to recommend testing. And then what happens every once in a while is a customer will call me or email me and they're a little upset because the remediation company told them that they should have done air testing. And I really don't like it when remediation companies choose to do this, right? Obviously, mold testing is so common in our industry that in their defense, they're used to it from most companies. And then, there's a philosophy that, the level of mold is going to be up here, right? When they start the job. Remember, mold spores are constantly moving. They don't stay static in the air. They're not just sitting around waiting for us to come along and take an air sample. Also, the level of mold in the air does not dictate the extent of contamination, right? So on a post-remediation inspection, yes, we're going to do a detailed visual. Yes, we're often going to do post-remediation air samples, right? And remediation companies, again, they will sometimes push back on this narrative because they say, well, you didn't do one first. So here's where it's ridiculous. First of all, an air sample is a 5-minute representation of the air. That's it. An air sample collected on July 1st, and the remediation doesn't actually start until, let's say, August 2nd, right? An air sample taken a month earlier has zero relevance, okay? I had a remediation company ask me last weekend, they said, do we need to clean the personal items in the basement? And the answer is, well, you don't necessarily have to be the one to clean them, but they have to be cleaned. And the question was, well, because the air sample down in the basement was not bad, do we have to clean them? So, well, you don't have to clean them, but they have to be cleaned based on the overall conditions, right? The overall conditions of the basement were that there was visible dampness, there was visible mold on multiple personal items and multiple surfaces. You had a good air sample, right? So remember, we're not basing our assessments upon compartmentalized information or compartmentalized data such as a 5-minute air sample. Just a couple of things I wanted to go over. Have a great day.